The international break is over and the world famous reopens its door for the most guaranteed 3 points you're going to see. Welcome to the preview for Nottingham Forest versus Burnley. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well and welcome to the preview, because finally that pile of crap international friendlies is finished. We can get on to the more serious business. We had such a laugh doing Super Saturday with you guys yesterday. It was so much fun. But now the real football starts as Forest are looking to get 3 more points guaranteed on the board as Steve Cooper goes up. Heads up, should I say, and literally heads up with alien ant farm himself, Vincent Kompany. I've never seen such an alien looking head in all my life. Coming up in today's video, we're going to talk you through my predicted team that I think Cooper will go with. I'll talk to you about the changes I personally would make. We'll run you through the crappy Burnley team as well. And then, of course, we'll get into all of the predictions. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And very quickly, there's only a few tickets left for the beautiful 1979 European Cup winning shirt signed by our great legends, all 11 of them. Make sure you go and get your tickets from Football Prizes. The link is pinned in the comments and in the description. All right, let's jump into this and let's start with the predicted Forest team. All right, so I guess question number 1, looking at the team sheet, is back 4 or back 5 or 3, whatever you want to call it. I don't see any chance in hell. In fact, I will be shocked, pleasantly shocked, if it's a back 4. I don't think, here's what I think, right? Cooper is comfortable with this formation. He's going to want to stick with it until it breaks, basically. And I think he's going to ride it out. And I also think he's not going to blood many of the new players. I think he's going to try and slowly bring them in. But there are a couple that he can't get away with not putting it in. And you all know who I'm talking about. So let's start from the back. I'm going to go for a 5-2-1-2 formation. And I think there'll be a couple of surprises in there. In terms of the keeper, Vlachodimos for me, I think will end up being number 1. But for now, Turner's done nothing wrong, and he will go in at the back. I can't see the change happening on the goalkeeper for this match. Now, just to give you a quick injury update, Danilo's out with the hamstring. Apparently, according to Cooper, so is Aurier. We're not sure what the injury is. It may be a hamstring as well. And then the third player that is out, potentially injured, is Elanga. I'm not convinced Elanga's injured. I think he may be named on the bench. I don't think he will start. What we do know is the likes of Niakate, Felipe are back. But will Cooper go with those two? And will he drop the likes of Bolly or Worrell to go to a back 4? Again, I can't see it. I think it's going to be a back 3. I think Worrell's still too much of a Cooper favourite at the moment, and Worrell will go in. It's a toss-up for me between Felipe starting or Bolly starting. And I've just got a feeling this would be a good game to get Felipe back in. And then I think it's going to be Niakate next to him. Now, I think this is very harsh on Bolly. If it was my choice and I was playing a back 3, which I'd never really do, but let's just say I did, I would put Bolly in ahead of Worrell. I think Bolly's been sensational for us, and I think it'd be very harsh for Bolly to be dropped. Now, there is an argument that he may actually stay with the back 3 that started and finished the Chelsea match, which was Worrell, Bolly, and McKenna. I can't see, you can't leave Niakate and Felipe on the bench if they're fully fit. I just think that would be stupid to do. But anyway, I think it's going to be that. I mean, it could be anything. This is my guess at the moment. Now, I think Einar will carry on at left wing back. I've been quite pleased with him so far. And I think the talk that Aurier might be injured is probably an excuse to get Montiel into the team, really. That's how it comes across to me. So I think that's going to be the back 5 that we go with. I still think it's harsh on Bolly if that's the case. I personally still would go with the back 4. I would drop Worrell and leave Niakate and Felipe, especially against crappy Burnley, man. They would be absolutely fine. But anyway, that's what I think the back five will be. Do you guys agree with that or not? Let me know in the comments. Now, there is no way in hell he cannot play Sangare. Sangare has to come in, especially if Cooper's looking to play a two-man midfield. So I think Sangare is that name that's coming straight on the sheet. He's match fit. He's been away on international. He's played. He's scored. He's ready to go. He's had a week or so of not a week or so. He's had a couple of days of training with the team. He knows how to play football. It doesn't matter who he's playing with. He's good enough to come straight in. So I'm thinking Sangare will start. That'll be one of the few new signings that we will see. And I think Cooper will pair him alongside Ryan Yates. And to be honest, Yates playing in this game, I'm not against it. This is one of those dogged games where it kind of suits his play style, where you got to get stuck in that midfield. So I think Yates and Sangare will be the pairing there. In terms of the cam, that will be MGW. I don't think there's much debate in there. And for sure, Owani, as long as he's fit, will come in. But here's where I think the change will be. Because let's assume Alanga's not fit. And I think Alanga should be starting if he is fit. I think he'll be benched, as I mentioned earlier. Now, who can you bring in here? Well, you could bring in a partner, an out-and-out striker in Chris Wood. I use the term loosely. But I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't think Callum Hudson-Odoi will start either. I think what we're going to see is Divock coming in here on the left-hand side of the pairing, and then probably floating out towards the wing in that semi-triangle style play that Cooper likes to see. But normally we would see it like that. Let's pretend that Jono was still there. He would float out to the right. I think we're almost going to get an inverse of that scenario. And I think it could be quite interesting to see how Owani and Origi would pair up. But for me, I think this isn't going to be too far off his starting lineup. You can basically throw a blanket over who the three centre backs will be. I think they will be those three. And it's just who is that half pairing, if you like, with Owani up front. And to me, Origi would make more sense than putting a Chris Wood there or a Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't think Alanga will start. I think he is fit personally, but I think he will be benched. Do I like this team? Not really. Not really. It's too defensive for me. There's too many defensively minded players in there against the Burnley team that, let me remind you, are basically bottom of the league. Only Luton managed to overtake them via goal difference yesterday. So I think we should be going all out for attack. Remember, we played terrible against them in the cup. Yes, it was our B team, but it was like their Z team that we played. So I'm expecting a better performance in this one. But I think that's going to be the team, guys. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. All right, so let's quickly get into the Burnley team, and it will be quick because, I mean, how many of these players can you guys name? There's a few little interesting debates happening, though, in and around this Burnley team. And that is about, we'll start with the goalkeeper, Trafford, the young Englishman they bought from Man City for about 15 million, rising up to 19. There's talks that they want him to be dropped because his distribution is crap. So you could potentially see him coming off and the ex-Forest boy coming in, Muric, who actually played in the League Cup the other night. And was well, we all know about him. We don't need to go into his details. So I probably would prefer that. But there's been heavy complaints about Trafford's distribution. Now, Muric's distribution in the League Cup game wasn't too bad. I can actually see this change happening because he's used to the City ground. He's already played there this season. He kept a clean sheet. So that's something that could happen. But the main problem Burnley are having is really deciding on who their left back should be. I don't know what Kompany's doing with this left back position, but he's playing a lot of right backs there or centre backs there and not playing their one player who's actually kind of a left back. They really are struggling with this position. And this is really something that Forest need to attack around this left back position. This is the team that basically lined up, apart from Trafford, against Spurs before the international break. And they held 5 at Spurs. I do see a couple of changes potentially happening, as I've mentioned, the keeper. But I do think there'll be a rotation again in this left back position. Maybe Roberts comes in again. He's a right back who could come in there, who has done it in previous matches for them. Maybe that's going to happen. But either way, Forest needs to target this left back area. And with Jono no longer in the squad and looking like Alanga is injured, maybe Callum Hudson-Odoi could have a say in this one down the right. We don't know. But this potentially will be the formation we'll see them go with. I think Vincent Kompany is going to get quite attacking in this game, and he's going to try and take Forest to the sword. Why? Because he will be targeting this game as potentially at least a point for them and to get them up and running. But what do you think of this team? I'm not going to spend much more time on it because it's a crap team. But get your thoughts in. Okay, so how do I see this game playing out? It's very tough to figure out. I think 6:45 is going to be a very key time for us as we see the team sheets and we get an idea of what Cooper's plan is. 6:45 will tell us, is he going to carry on with this low block negative football and try and hit Burnley on the counter attack? Now, you could argue there's a case for that to get you the 3 points in this game. Why? Because Burnley play a high line. They literally try and play like they're Man City with the centre backs right up top, and they can get overloaded in and around the halfway line, and they haven't really got the defence to play that high line. So you may see that happening, and you may see Forest trying to draw Burnley higher up the pitch to create the spaces for the pace that we should have in and around with our attacking players. But realistically, at home against a championship team, and look, joking aside, I do rate Kompany and what he's done for Burnley over the last year or so. But it is a championship team with potentially a Premier League manager at the moment. And he can't really get championship players to play like Premier League players in the style that he wants to do. And I think this could be an interesting clash of managerial philosophies and minds. Cooper could sucker him in by a low block, but at the same time, Cooper is coming under pressure to start playing some more expansive football, especially after Marinakis spent yet nearly another 100 million this summer on players to bolster this squad and really make it a sustainable Premier League team. Do I expect it to happen? No. But either way, I still see this as a comfortable win for Nottingham Forest. I can see us getting in behind Burnley quite a bit, but we are going to need pace on the pitch. And Alanga would have been perfect for this game. So I would have liked to see him start, but obviously the whole injury thing is what it is. But Burnley are desperate to get points on the board. And this is their first real opportunity this season. Having lost to the likes of Man City, Villa, etc. already this season, they will be foaming at the mouth to get something out of Monday. And it could be an interesting encounter. I'm going to stay confident and I'm going to stay cocky on this one. And I'm going to say Forest should and must win this game. And I'm going to go for a heavy margin of 3-0. I think it can happen. I'm very confident Forest should get the points, especially after the League Cup match. We really should be fired up to get some points out of this one and some revenge on Burnley. But will Kompany have a trick up his sleeve? We'll have to wait and see tomorrow to find out. Get your thoughts in and get your scoreline predictions in down below. Don't forget, we will have a match preview, a Gore live stream tonight, building up further into this match. Should be about 8:30, 9, something like that. So have your notifications on. If you've enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new. We'll see you tonight. And in the meantime, go grab your tickets for that 1979 Forest home kit. And come on, you Reds.